Hi, my name is Pinyo Sarmiento, BS Criminology, and this presentation titled Forensic Toxicology. And let's start. Okay, first, objectives. Describe toxicology, forensic toxicology, and forensic toxicologies. Tell the importance and field of forensic toxicology, then giving information about the history of toxicology. Fourth, ways on how forensic toxicology collects sample. Okay. Okay, we will move in the next slide. The second slide is describe toxicology, forensic toxicology, and forensic toxicologies. Okay. Uh, Toxicology. Toxicology, study of toxicant, poisonous toxin. The branch of science concerned with the nature, effect, and detection of poison. In other words, toxicology is the study of effect of poisons. Toxicology is perhaps the oldest scientific discipline. Even the earliest human had to recognize which plant were safe to eat. Okay. And toxicology is a field of science that helps us understand the harmful effect that chemicals, substances, or situation can have on people, animal, and the environment. Okay, okay. Forensic toxicology is the use of toxicology and the other discipline such as analytical chemistry, pharmacology, and clinical chemistry to an medical or legal investigation of death, poisoning, and drug use. The primary concern of forensic toxicology is not the legal outcome, the toxicological investigation, or the technology utilized, but rather the obtaining and interpreting uh, or the result. Okay, next is forensic toxicologies. Uh, Perform scientific tests on bodily fluids and tissue samples to identify any drugs or chemicals present in the body working in the lab. The forensic toxicologists uh, perform tests on sample collected by forensic pathology during an uh, autopsy or by crime scene investigation. They use highly sophisticated instruments, chemical uh, reagents, and precise methodologies to determine the presence or absence of specific substance in the sample. Okay, uh, the next slide. The importance and fields of forensic toxicology. Okay, let's start. Uh, the importance of forensic toxicology is investigate with the fundamental and critical requirement of accusation or an appropriate specimen. Beyond this, a suitable specific technique must be applied to analyze the specimen. The forensic toxicology must be familiar with utilized knowledge from the basic science discipline and cooperate collaboration of other professional to answer questions related to death, sickness, or any areas where a poison or drug is suspected. The field of forensic toxicology has grown to include drug and alcohol testing for employers and traffic enforcement officials as well as testing animal samples for wildlife, wildlife, criminal influence um, investigator and testing for date rape, drugs, and performance analyzing substance. Okay, we will move in the history of toxicology. Okay, Chinese to 27 BC, before Christ, right? Chinese journal plants and fish poisons. The base of things to avoid. Egyptian, then 19 hanggang 12 BC, Egyptian documents had more than 800 medical and poisonous recipes. Okay, Greek 50 to 100 AD, Greek physician classified over 600 plant, animal, and mineral poison. In Hindu medicine, 800 BC includes notes on poison and antidotes. Romans, 50 to 100 AD, Romans used poison for execution and assassination. The philosopher Socrates was executed using hemlock for teaching radical idea to youth like using computer or whatever. No computer those day, of course, but some radical ideas that people didn't like. Also, Islamic authority on poisons and antidotes, and the Spanish rabbi Maimonides write first and aid book to poisonous polyms and their antidotes. Also, Paracelsus is the father of modern toxicology. He is the Swiss physician and he came up with the revolutionary idea else of toxicology. The Paracelsus said in their quotes, all substances are poison. There is none which is not poison. The right dose differentiate a poison from a remedy. Okay, Matthew Orfila, one of the most renowned medical legalists of the time, is the best known for his involvement in the Lafarge arsenic poisoning case in France. Okay, we will go to the Paul Ehrlich pioneer understanding of how toxicants reacts with living organization. He was able to work with stain and tissue like his my histology that he does, and he was able to uh, do a experiment on the effect of toxicant of how living organism and bacteria. Okay, we go the last slide. Uh, Ways how to collect forensic toxicologists collect sample. Okay, isolation is the method of isolation. First, volatile poison are those isolated by distillation with or without current stem. Second, non-stem volatile person are those isolated by extraction with organized solvents. Third, metallic poison that are isolated by the reflection. Fourth, substance for which special method of isolation are required. The second is the detection and characterization. Detection is concerned to analyze all various kinds of sample and knowing any physical symptoms recorded, any evidence collected at a crime scene. Characterization of the analytical examination of fluids such as blood and right for the pressure of compounds that are not normally present. The third one is identification of drug. Identification of drug, forensic chemists analyze sample of unknown material including powders, liquid, and stain to determine chemical identity of characteristic compound that make up the sample. Next, the quantification. Quantification of human DNA is an important procedure since it ensures the competence of the essays carried out in forensic exam. Next is interpretation. The interpretation is to identify these drugs, present reliable forensic toxicology data in account, analyze prohibited substance in a sports doping investigation, monitor illicit drug use, or keep up with the demand to identify uh, the proactive substance. Okay, this is my video presentation about forensic toxicology, and thank you for watching. God bless.